शङ्कर रक्ष मां शारदे पाहि मां 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 शङ्कर रक्ष माम् शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर रक्ष मां 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 शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर रक्ष माम्
Namaskaram. Hari Om. We're going to get started. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sharada Sharadamboja Vadana Vadanambuje Sarvada Sarvatasmakam Sannidhim Kriyat Sada Shiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Bharati Karunapatram Bharati Padabhushanam Bharati Padamarudam Bharati Tirthamashraye Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vetaraham Vivehinam Vande Vedanta Tattvajnam Vidushekara Bharatim Sadguru Charanarvindabhyam Namaha. Namaskaram, Mami. So welcome to the 23rd session of the Panchadasi session. Mami, please go and get started.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha. Doing namaskars. to Devi Sharadamba, Shri Mahasanidhanam, Shri Sanidhanam, our Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, and the entire Guru Parampara to all of you. We start today's class. First, we'll chant the Namasri Shankarananda. Namasri Shankarananda Guru Padambu Janmane Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Grasaita Karmane. Okay, so we start by chanting last week's shlokams 14, 15 and 16. First. Vairagyam Chantiraudaryam Ityadya Sattva Sambhavaha Kamakrodhau Lobhayatnau Ityadya Rajasothitaha Alasyam Bhranti Tandradyaha Vikarastamasotthitaha Satvikai Punya Nishpattihi Papotpattischa Rajasaihi Tamasairno Bhayam Kintu Vritha Yukshapanam Bhavet Atraham Pratyayi Karteti Evam Loke Vyavasthiti. You can take it out now. So, Vidyaranyaji, after explaining all the 5 elements in the beginning, and then explaining the karmendriyas, the jnanendriyas, and then the antakarana, and in the antakarana, he spoke about all the 3 kinds of thoughts, namely the sattvic, rajasic, and the tamasic thoughts, how they are generated because of the 3 gunas. Now, thereafter, he spoke about the effects of the 3 gunas, how, the punya karmas, are formed because of the sattvic gunas, and that means, later on everything is so nice. And then we find that if there are, rajasic tendencies, then papa karmas are formed. And then he said how with tamasa, the whole human life is wasted. This is what we were saying in the last lecture. How that whole of that human life, which is so rare, and that gets totally wasted because of our tamasic gunas. And then he spoke about whom do these gunas belong to. And at that time, we just mentioned about there is one aham vritti. Vritti means thought. Aham pratyaya, aham vritti. Or it's called as ahankara. So somebody who knows Tamil said it is full of karam, so aham, so aham karoti iti ahankaraha. So everything I do. So it arrogates and it identifies. It's just a thought. The thought which arrogates to itself, first it says this body, I am this body. Then through that, it says the senses, all the senses, that's me also. It passes on. And then all the, slowly, everything, my thoughts, that's me. I'm such a great person. I think only of sattvic thoughts. It's others who have to tell me what thoughts I have, because the way I behave should look like that. Yeah. But this ahankara just keeps on giving this commentary, how everything is me. So arrogates the thought and says it's me, with sattvic, with rajasic, with tamasic vrittis also. So the question is, how did and from where did this I come? Where? So before it can superimpose itself into the body, into the senses, into the mind, etc., where did it get this I thought? Because then only it arrogates, this body is me. First, it must have started somewhere. Where does it start? This aham vritti it's not just a thought, but it is endowed with the reflection of consciousness. The reflection of consciousness is in there. So, last time we had said, Abhasa Sahita Aham Vritti. I hope you all remember. Abhasa Sahita. Sa Abhasa, Sa Bhasa. No? We had said that. So, this vritti, this thought, gets the I from the reflection of consciousness because of its proximity to the consciousness. It is so near the consciousness that it gets reflected in this aham vritti. And that's why it has got the I, which later it translates, it transfers into all the upadhis. Then, and says, this is me, this is me, this is me, this is mine. All this happens. But remember, all the while, the pure consciousness is just watching. Okay, you go on doing. So it's just a witness watching. So, and the other I that we all think we are is an imposter. It actually is not the I. The one which is watching is the I. But this aham vritti is just a thought. Yeah? It is a cheater, all telling all lies that I am this, I am that, until you catch it. We just let it, we love it, so we just let it go. Like, in one of the jokes that we say, when the son-in-law is coming to the mother-in-law's house for the first time, they want to please him. So when they go to the airport or train station, etc., they don't want to ask him any questions. Some other guy is coming with him. So these people think it must be that son-in-law's friend. And the son-in-law thinks that it is their Asami, somebody there from their group. So he also doesn't ask. And that guy is demanding. Son-in-law is poor guy, he doesn't say anything. But this new guy keeps on saying, hey, there is no hot water. Hey, this is not working. That these people cannot take it after 3 days, and they go and ask the son-in-law, Maple, who is that guy? So I don't know. I thought it was. So by the time they are talking, this guy runs away because he now knows I can't be here because now they will find out. So it's like that. This imposter is, saying that I am all the time. So about this also, the author explains all this we had done. And after completing that, very in a nice way, now he goes on to the next topic, which is in the 16th, I think it is the 17th shlokam. So let us chant the 17th shlokam. We are going for today's class. Spashta shabdadi yukteshu भौतिकत्वमति स्फुटम् स्पष्टशब्दादियुक्तेषु भौतिकत्वमति स्फुटम् अक्षादावपि तच्छास्त्र युक्तिभ्याम् अवधार्यताम् अक्षादावपि तच्छास्त्र युक्तिभ्याम् अवधार्यताम्. We'll say it together once. Spashta shabdadi yukteshu bhautikattvamati sphutam akshadavapi tachhastra yuktibhyam avadharyatam. Spashta shabdadi yukteshu. And it says sphutam. Bhautikatvam atisphutam. Sphutam means atisphutam. It is evident. It's very clear. It's crystal clear. What is very crystal clear? Bhautikatvam. Bhautikatvam, that it is made up of the elements. So bhutas, that is elements. That it is made up of elements is very, very clear, very evident. That all these things are made up of the 5 elements is very clear. So where is it clear? In the shabdadi yukteshu. So that which is joined with, or that which is associated, yukteshu. Yukteshu means associated with, endowed with. That which is joined with shabdadi, shabda adi. Whenever we say adi, etc., you have to know all the other. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. That is the sound, taste, smell, etc., etc. So, those all the 5 are different from each other. All the 5 of them are different from each other. Those which are endowed with the distinct properties, shabda, like shabda, the sound, etc. What are all, what is it that is associated? The sound is associated with space. We have seen that. And then, the touch is associated with the air, etc., etc. So all this we can understand is as spashta shabdadi yukteshu akashadishu. We have to understand. Akasha means the shabda is akasha, means shabda is for the space, etc. So we can, in our mind, we can say what is associated with the shabda is akasha. So akasha, etc., etc. We have to understand. Bhautikatvam, that they are constituted of the elements, is atisphutam, is very clear. We can know that. So all these things, since we have they made all this logic about how all those elements are bhautika, that is, they are all made up of elements, how all those things have come. So we have the shabda, etc., of the akasha. The akasha is material, we already have said that. And so the sound, etc., are also material. The vayu, you have the property of touch, you are able to perceive. Then the agni is the rupa, that is the color and form, that's also material. In jala, in water, the property is rasa, that is the taste. Okay. Prithvi has gandha, the smell. Yeah. So this is an element that is all very clear. But we'll have a problem to recognize if the indriyas, that is the karmendriyas and the jnanendriyas and the mind, the antakarana also, are they also elements? Are they also made up of elements? Because we cannot see. See, we are not talking about karmendriyas, means the hand, legs, etc. But the faculty of walking, faculty of grasping, or the eyes, etc. Again, when we say, not the eyes per se, but the faculty of seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, etc. Okay, you have to understand. So, and also the mind and the buddhi and the ahamvritti, the hankara that we said, are these also made up of elements? Do you mean to say that? So, not only that, all those modifications we said, no, kama, krodha, of the rajasic vritti, and then kshama, kshanti, audaryam, etc. for the sattvic vritti, alasya, tandra, nidra, etc. of the tamasic vritti. Last week we had said all those things. And also that ahankara, the aham vritti, are all those also made up of the 5 elements? Is that what you're trying to say? That I'm not sure about. Huh? I don't know. How can I know that these are also made up of elements? So, what chapter are we on? Panchamahabhuta Viveka. Yeah, so we have to remember. So that's our whole thing. How this whole entire thing is only Mahabhutas. That is the elements. So Akshadau api tat. It says, just now we said, Akshadau. Aksha, etc. Aksha means eyes. Api, that also. Tat means Bhautikatvam, because we said Bhautikatvam. So that these are also made up of the bhutas, made up of the 5 elements, namely the Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha, and Prithvi. Which ones? Aksha, Adi, Adau. So in the eye. So how many akshas are there? We cannot say 2, because we are not talking of the Golakas, remember. The faculty is only 1. The same way, nose, nostrils are 2, but the faculty is 1, like that. Ears, only 1, and the faculty of hearing, etc. So here only Aksha is given as an example, but we have to know, or Aksha Adi means, etc. So all the karmendriyas also the same thing, even though 2 legs, 2 hands, but the faculty of grasping, the faculty of walking, running, etc., they're all 1. So, and also the mind with the ahankara. All these things, akshadau api, even in all these instruments, in these karanas, jnanendriya, karmendriya, antakarana, everything, tat means that bhautikatvam, that they are all made up of all elements, is very difficult. In order to know that, you cannot use your eyes. Yeah. What do we do then? Sometimes some people don't know, they are color blind, we say. No, you are wearing blue, and he comes and says, "Oh, your white shirt looks so nice." Am I wearing white? You also become a little confused, So now you make fun of him. Hey, does it look like white to you? Something is wrong with your eyes. So next time he sees something white or blue, he will not say anything. He will first ask somebody, "Hey, come here, what is that color?" And then he will say, no, because you cannot trust it once you don't know. No, that's what it is. So you cannot know the jnanendriyas. We are not talking about the golakas. And then the faculty of jnana, of the jnanendriyas. I cannot see them, I cannot smell them, I cannot touch them, I cannot taste them, I cannot hear them. So by pratyaksha, by actually in experience, I cannot know that these jnanendriyas, karmendriyas, the ahankara, etc., the vrittis, etc., are made up of 5 elements. So how do I know? I have to know somehow. How do I know? It says, how can you know is Shastra Yuktibhyam Avadharyatam. Shastra Yuktibhyam Avadharyatam. The second part of the shlokam that we said, 17th shlokam. So that you have to understand with the help of the Shastra Pramana. Shastra becomes the means of knowledge. And also Shastra, and it says Yukti. Yukti means through logic, logical methods. So with the information, that is Anumana. So all this only we have to use all this in order to know the jnanendriyas, karmendriyas, etc., if they are also elements. Shastra yuktibhyam avadharyatam. So there is one saying you might have heard. We say, alaukika vishaye shastra pramanam. Shastram pramanam. Alaukika means that which cannot be comprehended by the senses, that which cannot be known through our senses. Then how do we know? Shastra is only the means. Yeah? what is not perceived, we have to trust some source, isn't it? Like, there is something happening in Australia, let us say. Oh, I cannot go right now. We know that. But there is something called news. Yeah. You have to know which news to listen to. That is a different thing. Yeah. But you know that some news comes and then you think that channel is okay. And that becomes the pramana or some newspaper, whatever. Huh? That becomes the shastra for it. Yeah. So alaukika vishaya, that which cannot be perceived directly, you have to have some kind of some kind of pramanam, some kind of means to know. Now, suddenly, when we say shastram pramanam, we don't like it. Why should I believe? That is all blind belief. I don't believe in shastras. This is what we start, we start talking like that. That is some imagination of somebody. We don't know. Yeah, but what else can you do? Is there any other way? So what is not perceived, we have to know through some larger source. Just like as we said, what is happening in Japan or in Australia, I don't know. Then I say, okay, this news. So, faith should be discarded only when the source is wrong. When we know that the source is wrong, then you don't have to have faith. Yeah. So, what is the proof that the indriyas and the antakarnas are also made up of elements? Yeah. And because you cannot taste it or smell it or touch it and feel it, etc., etc. What is the proof? Then, so the trustworthy information, source of information, we call it as Shastra. As a person, sometimes we have a friend who is a trustworthy person. We call as Apta Purusha, right? We only, whenever we know there are some people who cannot, that person said, then you discard it. Because they will put mirchi, masala, etc. Whatever has happened will not be the same. It will be completely a different story. We know such people. Those people you don't have to, but some trustworthy thing, it's called as Shastra. So, now that's why sometimes Shastra is not to be described as scriptures. Because we normally translate Shastra as scripture. When we do that, when we hear the word scripture, our mind goes to some body of literature which is religious in nature. Oh, I don't know. Immediately you have something, you put down the shutter. So Shastra is that which deals with those things which are not perceived through the senses, and yet which are comprehensible, which are actually experienceable either now or later with the help of the methods that are given. Again, I'm repeating, Shastra is that which deals with those things which are not perceived through the senses, yet which are experienceable either now or later in time with the help of methods given there. In the Shastra only it says that. Therefore, Shastra refers to something which you will be able to experience later on. Therefore, faith is required for that. Then only you will follow the method. See, if you don't even follow that method, if you don't have any faith, you don't even follow, then you'll not be benefited. What is the big deal? Okay, I trust the Shastra. I'm going to do this. Okay, it didn't give me the result that it told me. But if it gives me, it's such a big thing, So it's always better to have the faith and then do it. Yeah. So if you are not able to use the method, you will not be able to see the validity of the Shastra. So I'm just trying to make a point that Shastra is very important for us to follow. So without using the method, to say that this what is pointed in the Shastra is not experienceable is very foolish. We cannot just discard it because we don't believe in that. So, for example, one example is given. In the Shastra, it says, if you want to go to Swarga, right? So this morning Kathopanishad class, we did that. So if we want to go to Swarga, then you perform something called Jyotishtoma Yaga. Okay, it says like that. Now, suppose you perform that yaga. Now, are you going to experience Swarga right away? For that, what do you have to do? You have to die. Huh? Is that going to be experienced? Who will do it? Nobody will do it then. Ayyo, if I do that, I will die immediately. No, it's not like that. There are some methods which are given for which the results will be coming later on. When I'm ready to die, then I will go. And you have to have that faith. So, because nobody has come back after death and told us, no, this is what happened. No, you have to have faith. Huh? So, you cannot use your present senses to experience that. But there are some methods in the Shastras which are given, which you can experience here and now. One example given is Brahmajnanam. You can have the experience of Brahmajnanam right here in this life itself. Because Shruti says, Atma va are drashtavyaha, shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavyaha. Atma va are drashtavyaha, shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavyaha. You can come to experience that Atma, the supreme reality, by what? By Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. It says like that. The Shruti says like that. So, you do that. You first listen, and then you do reflection on that, and then afterwards you do the meditation, the Nididhyasanam on that, and then find out if you really experience it right now. You can have that experience not after you die, but right now. In this life itself, we can get realized like that. That is one example. Brahmajnanam is something that can be experienced right here. So, we see that the methods are of two types. The Shastras give some methods which can be immediately experienced or later experienced. And what is the Shastra and what is the method here by which we can understand that the Indriyas are made up of material, because we have to come to what we are talking. So in this case, which is that Shastra which tells anything about this, that all the Jnanendriyas and all the Antakarana and all the Ahankara, etc., they are all made up of only material, that is elements. So this is called as, which Shastra is that? Again, this whole thing is about Chandogya Upanishad only. So the same thing comes in the Chandogya Upanishad. In the Chandogya Upanishad, it is stated that Annamayam hi saumya manaha. Annamayam hi saumya manaha. Now, there is a story, small little story to this. The father is Uddhalaka Rishi. The Rishi is Uddhalaka. Now, the son is like one of our sons. All other children in the community used to go to school by 7, 8. When they were 7 years old, 8 years old, they were sent to the Gurukulam. They will stay there for 10 years and then come back when they are 15, 16. For 10 years, they don't see. They live in the Gurukulam, come back after learning all the scriptures. This boy, he was already at 10 or something, not interested at all. So, we say all these marbles playing or, all these kind of things. He was always on the street. The mother got tired of taking care of this boy, telling him, you have to go to Gurukulam, you have to go to Gurukulam. That boy never listened. Then she could not take it, and then she went to the father and said, look at your son. Immediately it becomes his son, no? So, you look at your son, doesn't even want to go to school. What kind of? So then Uddhalaka Rishi, he calls him And he says, listen, son, in our community, everybody has gone to school. Everybody has understood what that ultimate reality is. They all have come back knowing everything. If you keep on growing like this, what will happen to you? You just think about it. Yeah. So the father explains the whole thing, and somehow it just made sense to him. All these years, nothing made sense. But at one particular time, he thought, okay, all right, if you say so. So then he goes. He goes, and then he comes back. We don't know whenever he's finished his studying, he comes back. And when he comes back, the way he walks, I know everything. So, the nose is always up. We all say, some people, they want to show up how much they know. That looks so ugly. But then when the father just looked at the son, he understood, oh my goodness, it was better that he was playing those marbles, his face was not like this. Now look at his face, he is so proud. So anyway, he called him and he said, so have you learnt everything, son? Yes, Appa, everything I know. Whatever you want to know, ask me. As though the Rishi wants to know something from him. Whatever you want to know, ask me. I will I will, repeat everything. So, father says, oh, very good. But I want to know, what is it that knowing which everything else becomes known? Do you know that? The son just looked at him. What? Can you repeat the question? What is it that knowing which everything else becomes known? One thing, everything else. The son said, I don't think my teacher knows that. Because he never taught me that. He doesn't know it, Appa. That's why, he didn't teach me. So then the father says, okay, I will myself teach you what it is. So now as he is teaching him, in the middle of it, in the 6th chapter, in the 5th section of this, he says, Annamayam hi saumya manaha. Annamayam hi saumya manaha. So, oh Saumya means dear one. Oh dear one, the mind is made up of food. It says like that. The mind is made up of food. That means what? The mind is made up of elements. What we want to know is given in this Upanishad, right in the middle of that Upanishad. And then it says, Apomaya hi pranaha. That means the pranas are all made up with water. They are all made up of water. Tejo mayi vak. Vak means the speech. The speech is made up of fire. Like that, all of the faculties, it says from what it comes. So, this is the statement of the Shruti. Shastram Pramanam, we said. And the Shruti says like this. But the father does not stop with just the Shastra. He wants the son to know that you can actually come to experience this. Okay? The father is a very, very thorough teacher. So he says, I can prove it to you, son, that this is what it is, that the mind is made up of food. So he gives a practical yukti, practical methodology. So Shvetaketu, do you want to see the truth of this? What I said just now? That the mind is made up of material? Son said, yeah, I want to know. Yeah. So then he said, all of us are made up of 16 kalas. So he says, you drink water. Drink plenty of water. So that your pranas will be there. Okay? Because I don't want you to die. So drink lot of water. But for the next 15 days, do not eat any food. This is an experiment on the son. Thank God the son agreed. No, otherwise he will start suing if he were a modern youth and all that. So in those days, that was not there, I guess. So, okay, 15 days you should not eat. But before you go into that fasting, I want you to recite some of the Vedas that you have learnt. So, he said, okay. Some Rigveda, something he said, okay, you chant from this mandala, you chant. So the son just, he just wanted to show off. And he just, for 5 minutes non-stop, he chanted very well. Now, the father said, very good. Okay, where did you chant this from? So the son said, oh, that is the, Rigveda, mandala so and so. Okay, just remember that. Now see you after 15 days. You go, drink lot of water, don't eat anything. So then 15 days passed by. And then the father sent word for the son to come. He had to be almost carried. So 2 people just almost gave him some support and he was brought. And he just sat down. The eyes were not opening. He was just looking. And then he said, how are you, son? Okay, pa. All right, all right. So, did you drink water? Yes, pa. I drank water. You didn't eat any food at all? No. Said, okay. Now, son, that day from Rigveda you were chanting, just chant that. Huh? I was chanting something? What? I can't remember it. He cannot even remember what he was chanting. Leave alone what the mantras were. He could not. He tried because the father gave him a little, some 1 or 2 words, but he could not chant at all. So then Uddalaka, the son, could not remember because the mind would not work without food. That immediately, just immediately it proved that. So now he said how, the whole thing is given in that Upanishad only. The gross aspect of the food goes to become the fecal matter. The middle, there are 3 aspects for each food. The middle aspect becomes the muscle, and the subtlest aspect of the food becomes the mind. It says like that. Like that, each one. The gross aspect of water becomes urine, middle becomes blood, subtle becomes prana, like that. And then Agni also. Gross aspect becomes bone, middle aspect becomes fat, and Sukshma, the subtlest, becomes the vak, the speech, etc. So in this way, by yukti and by direct application of what was said in the Shastra, Uddalaka Rishi explained how that Antakarana is also made up of elements. So this is what the reference here is to how Shastra can be used and how the yukti should be used from that, the methodology. So it says, Shastra yukti bhyam, that mind is made up of food. That food is, of course, when we say food means elements only. Yeah, the food is made up of elements. So all we know that through Shastra and through the yukti, you can come to understand that the mind is made up of the elements. So even though you cannot experience the Antakarana, means you cannot through your senses, you cannot experience anything, but because you cannot hear all these things, etc. So but still you understand that the Antakarana is made up of these is of the material nature because of this experiment that is done by Uddalaka and which is reported in this Shastra. So the same way with everything, the faculty of seeing, the faculty of hearing, the faculty of, all those also are all made up of only the elements. So if you carefully observe the Indriyas, they are closely connected with the elements only. They are all closely connected. So Indriyas, when we take Shrotra, that is the ear, it captures the Shabda, the sound, which is the property of Akasha, right? So Shrotra is made up of Akasha. It is able to hear the property of Akasha. Because of commonality, both are they are from gross elements. That's how we conclude. So the same way, each one, each of the indriyas, So there is a shloka which says, tat tat indriyam, tat tat bhutajanyam, tat tat bhutaguna grahakatvat. So tat tat indriyam, each indriya, tat tat bhutajanyam. It is made up of the particular element. Why? Because tat tat bhuta guna grahakatvat. Because it is able to capture the very elemental property of that. So that indriya is born from that element, we can know, because that elemental property you can perceive. So we said how akasha and the shabda go together, like that, each one. So even though we do not see the jnanendriyas, karmendriyas, the mind and ahankara, etc., still we have to understand that they are all made up of only elements. So the entire blanket statement, entire physical, psychological, everything entity is made up of only elements. We come to the conclusion. So even the psychological, yes, that's why we said the mind also. So everything is made up of elements only. Everything is made up of elements only. So because we are studying the Panchabhuta Viveka. So how nicely he is connecting, from one to the other, he is just bringing. Now he has not forgotten where he started from. But I have forgotten. Yeah. So what did he start with? He started with the statement Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asid. I hope you all remember. So he has to come to that point, which is now in the next shlokam. Slowly he is going to that. Yeah. So, with whatever we have done so far, he has concluded that section of the analysis. And now he says why he is actually, why did he begin with all this analysis? Now, because of the that statement from that Chandogya Upanishad, Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asid Ekameva Advitiyam. Ekameva Advitiyam. So, Sad Eva Saumya, existence alone, oh dear one, Idam Agra Asid, before the creation, that alone was. So, and then Ekameva Advitiyam, that is one alone without a second. So, now, the teacher is telling him, that is Vidyaranyaji is saying, that whatever I have explained to you right now is one only idam. That's what I have said so far. Now going to the next one, that is the 18th shlokam. Ekadashendriyai yuktya shastrena apyavagamyate शास्त्रेणाप्यवगम्यते यावत् किञ्चित् भवेत् एतद् इदं शब्दोदितं जगत् यावत् किञ्चित् भवेत् एतत् idam shabdoditam jagat. Together. Ekadashendriyai yuktya shastrena apyavagamyate yavat kinchit bhavet etat idam shabdoditam jagat. Okay. So now I have told you in the beginning that I will explain to you Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asid. But I went to the elements to first let you know. Now I did all this to come to this, to make you understand that everything comes under the purview of idam, this. So Ekadasha Indriyaihi. indriyaihi. Ekadasha, through the 11 indriyas. So, the 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, and mind. No, here he is not taking mano, buddhi, ahankara, chittam as differently, because we all know he is just making it as a simple thing. 5 karmendriyas, 5 jnanendriyas, and then the mind. Now, all this is comprehended by the jnanendriyas and acted by the karmendriyas, and the various modifications of the mind that we experience with the mind. All this, so far, all this perceived world, or not even perceived directly, yuktya, whatever is known through the inference, whatever is known, whatever is perceived directly, or all the objects that are perceived directly, either through touching, tasting, etc., or through inference. So inferred. So whatever is perceived through the 11 organs, whatever can be logically inferred. And one more category, shastrena. Shastrena, known only through the source of knowledge, which you cannot infer even. So many times we cannot infer. So through the Shastra, we already said that. So because Shastra deals with these aspects which do not come under the purview of our human cognition. So again, we already said how Swarga, etc. We can never know. And then they say there are no Brahmandas, so many Brahmandas are there. And each Brahmanda, they say, 7 underworlds, 7 upper worlds, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Tali, Talatala, all those, Patala, etc., 7 underworlds, and then Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, Mahajanaha, Tapaha, Satyam, all these 7, upper worlds, etc. We have no idea. We know only about Bhumi, only that we know. So, Ekadasha Indriyaihi, so through the sensory perception, or yuktya, by logic, logical where you cannot know. And then shastrena, so that which is beyond perception, beyond inference, but still which we know is there because of the acceptance of the Shastra as pramana, as the means of knowledge. Yeah. So whatever you have accepted as means of knowledge and whatever is cognized, not only that, he also says Shastrena api. That word api. Api means any other means also. So what are the api? I thought you already covered all of them through this 3. He said, no. There are 6 means of knowledge. According to our Vedanta, 6 means of knowledge. One is pratyaksha pramanam, that is direct perception. Second one is called anumana. Anumana means inference. See, normally the example given is wherever there is smoke, there must be a fire, right? So this is a very famous example. So you come to a conclusion because you see the result, so you know the cause. Upamana. Upamana is not upama. So upamana means through similarity. Yeah. So so and so, then that guy, the other guy looks like him, so bring him. So some comparison is given. What is a football? I don't know what a football is. Okay, looks like or if you don't know what watermelon is, say something that looks like football or something like that. You say something. What is a bison? I don't know. Something that looks like buffalo or something like that. So through comparison, then you can know. Then arthapatti. Arthapatti means, this is a very cute one. See, this always in Vedanta, there is one guy who is named as Devadatta. Poor guy, he comes in for every example he will come. So Devadatta says, I don't eat at all. And then he keeps on growing fatter and fatter every day. So How do you say that you are not eating? Throughout the day, he doesn't eat. Nobody sees him eating. So what do we conclude? We conclude that he eats at night. Yeah. So actually, there used to be one great orator in Tamil called Kiran. Nakiran, no? So Kiran. So the way he used to say this Arthapati, Kiran Kunda Irkiran, he used to talk like that. You know? So Pahalil Shapadvade illai. He never eats during the day. Ratrilla vetra sir. So he used to talk like that. So at night he just eats. So that's how you come to the conclusion. So that's called as Arthapatti. So you give the benefit of doubt. Maybe he has thyroid. Who knows? So that is another thing. But anyway, normally you postulate something to explain something. Yeah. So that is the fourth one. What is the fifth one? Anupalabdhi. Anupalabdhi is a very interesting one. Knowledge of absence. Yeah. So you say, go and see if Ramu is there. You come back and say that he is not there, absence. Then that gives you an idea that Ramu is not in this place, so he must be in the other place. So that is also one means of knowledge. Yeah? So Anupalabdhi, that is non-comprehension or knowledge of absence, is also one of the means. And there is also the last one, we said Shabda Pramana, which is the Shastra. If the Shastra says, then we take it into consideration. So all these 6 are also Pramanas. So I'm just repeating. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Arthapatti, Anupalabdhi, and Shabda. These are all the means of knowing everything. So api, when you say Shastra, api means all these things are included. So, yavat kinchit, whatever little like that, you cannot directly, you cannot say like that. You say whatever you cognize. When you say like that, anything and everything that you can know through all these 6 means, bhavet etad idam shabdoditam jagat. Avagamyate means whatever is cognized, whatever is seen by means of this knowledge is this world, is this entire world. Idam shabda uditam bhavet. So it becomes denoted, means uditam. Uditam means denoted by the word idam. Everything in this world becomes idam, 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 idam. This. That's why, very little children, when they are born, they don't know what to say. Then you start teaching them whatever words and all. For everything they say dish. Then at that time you have to know that they are all realized souls. That's why they are talking like that, So idam, idam, idam. This entire world is idam only. So what is the meaning of it? That this is, that's that which is not you, that which is not me. I and idam. The whole world is like that. So apart from the subject I, everything in this world comes and in that word idam. So this entire world comes under the word idam. So how many things have we covered in this? First, we said the 5 elements. Does it come under idam? Definitely yes. From the 5 elements came the Jnanendriyas. Idam? Yes. Karmendriyas? Idam? Yes. Antakarna, that is the manam? Yes. Mana, we already said idam. So, whatever is experienced, whatever you can think of, is only idam. So, in Sadeva Saumya, idam agra asit, in that statement, now we have understood one word, idam. Everything. So, idam is this. Why do like this? Just so go to that Sat only, no? It would be so easy. No, we will not understand because we know only this world. All that we know is only this world. So the first he covers what we know, And then we go to what we don't know. So world means that which is comprehended by the 6 means of knowledge that we knew, that we just now said. So all this is what was only existence alone. All that I comprehend through the 6 means of knowledge, before creation, everything was existence alone. This is what is going to be explained slowly and slowly. So one by one, each topic he is covering. So with that, we will stop for today, because there are people who have to go and watch the game also. So I'll stop with it. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityormukshiyam Amritat Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you so much, Mami. It's excellent. As usual, I think today, as Mami said, apart from our Panchadasi day today, we also have the Super Bowl. But there's also one more auspicious day. Today was also the Sannyasa Svikara day of Sannidhanam. So it's so nice also we could have read Panchadasi today. So it's nice, even if it is 2, 3 slokas, 5 slokas, it's such a blessing. Hopefully some of these things will go in and talk about the Chandogya Upanishad as well today. And it's very nice to know the Alokika stuff, Shastras, Pramanam is a very nice, very important statement for all of us. Most of the time, if we don't understand, if we cannot comprehend why Shastram is a Pramanam and how our ancestors have taken it, but in a very structured way to give that is very difficult. Because there is a jump at that point. Until then, to understand the fact that our 5 elements of eyes, voice, and things like that is made by the Panchabhutas, most people understand. To go ahead and take that leap and have it in a very structured way is very subtle. To have the subtle aspects of that, and thank you, Mami, for quoting the Chandogya Upanishad detailedly to say that Apo Mahi Pranaha, Annamayam Hi, Saumya Manaha, and all those things. So beautiful. I think that gives that meaning. Thank you so much for that. We enjoyed it. And without much ado for Super Bowl, let's finish it off. Any questions, do send the email. We'll go from there. Thank you. Go ahead, Shini.
Mangalam Guru Shri Chandramaulishwar ke Shakti Ganapati Sharadamba Shankaracharya ke Shakti Ganapati Mahaganapati Sharadamba Kala Bhairavar ke Kali Durgai ke Veera Dheera Shura Hanuma Maruti Charanati ke Mallikarjuna ke Selva Janardana ke Amba Bhavani Kambada Ganapati Chandi Chamundi ke Shri Krishna Bhagavan ke Shri Chakravasini ke Sita Rama Lakshmana Sahita Maruti Charanati ke Vidyaranyar ke Vidya Shankaram ke Vagishwari ke Vajradega Garuda Anjaneyar ke Shri Valli Deva Sena Sameta Subramanyar ke Tungabhadrai ke Shringanivasini ke Sringeri Puriyil Nilaithirukkum Engal Sharadambigai ke Satchidananda Shiva Abhinava Nrsimha Bharati ke Shri Chandrasekhara Bharati Guru Sarva Bhaumar ke Shri Chandrasekhara Bharati Guru Vidya Tirthar ke श्री चंद्रशेखर भारती गुरु भारती तीर्थर के श्री चंद्रशेखर भारती गुरु विदुशेखर भारती के मंगलम गुरु श्री चंद्रमौलीश्वर के शक्ति गणपति शारदाम्बिक शंकराचार्यर के शक्ति गणपति महागणपति शारदाம்பிகை के श्रींगेरी पुरिயில் நிறைந்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே.
Hari Om, thank you so much. Hari Om.